Okay, so let's go ahead and go over the stages of mitosis. So you do need to take notes on this. And you are going to have to make a copy, or I'll make a copy, take a picture of it and submit it in the assignment. Okay, so today's notes are going to be kind of brief. I'm just going to kind of introduce mitosis to you and the stages. I'll go into more detail later on about it, all the different stages, growth cycles, all of that. But for today, I want you, so we're doing mitosis. And in the video, she said PMAT is something for you to remember. That's actually the stage in mitosis. Those are the stages. But there is an I before it, and there's a C after it. So I, PMAT, C is just a little thing that you can remember to help you remember all the stages of it. So interphase is not a stage of mitosis. So this is what this is where the cell is spending the majority of its life. So the majority of the time per cell is spent in interphase. And they talked about that a little bit in the video. But this is where it's preparing to divide. So it's getting everything ready to divide. It's not actually dividing. So sometimes you'll see a diagram and it shows like this would be interphase. And then this little section right in here would actually be mitosis. So the majority of the time of the cell is spent in interphase, and just a short time is spent in mitosis. Mitosis is actually where it's dividing. Okay, so the first stage of mitosis is the P. So we've got the PMAT thing going on here. So these are actually the stages in mitosis. So the first one is prophase. Pro means first. So if you see that Latin root, it means first. So like a protostar is the first star that forms. Prophase is the first stage in mitosis. Okay, so in prophase, there's still a nucleus. And the chromosomes start to condense. You can see the chromosomes. Does anybody know what a chromosome looks like? It looks like an X. So it's just kind of those little blobby looking eggs. So you can start to see the chromosomes condense, which just means that they're coming together. You can see them in this phase, and there's still a nucleus. Okay, the next one is metaphase, and we're going to think middle. So during metaphase, the chromosomes line up in the middle. And I'm going to go back and draw a little picture of these in a second. Then the next one you have anaphase. She told you the A, think of away. So these are where the chromosomes start to move away from each other. And they're actually on opposite, they're moving toward opposite sides of the cell. And then the last phase is telophase. So telophase is the last phase. The chromosomes are on opposite ends. Nuclei start to form on each side. How's everything going through the sides?
Spindles.
But why is it going? Yes, it is because of spindles. But why?
Because they're about to separate.
Yeah, they're about to separate into two cells. So we've got stuff getting ready to split. Then we start mitosis. The nucleus is starting to dissolve. Chromosomes are starting to appear. The chromosomes line up. The chromosomes separate. And then telophase, everything's on the sides. And the nuclei are starting to form on the sides. So with telophase, you've got the nucleus forming on the sides, the chromosomes on the sides, and then the last part is cytokinesis. This is where the cytoplasm splits and forms two cells. Are those cells identical?
Yes.
Yes. These are identical cells. And do you remember what the name of the identical cells was? This is one that started with an H and one that started with a D. Diploid. So these are diploid cells. They're going to have 46 chromosomes in them. Okay, so if we do a little picture with these, prophase, you're going to see little chromosomes in it. There's still a nucleus. Metaphase, all the chromosomes are going to line up down the middle. So they make a line straight down the middle. Anaphase, you're going to see, there's going to be spindles. That's what Abraham just mentioned. It was in the video. Spindles are basically like little sticky traps for the chromosomes. So you've got your chromosomes here down the center, and what it's doing is dragging half of it over to the side. So it's splitting them and dragging them over there. And then telophase, you start having the nuclei form, and you've got your chromosomes over here on each side. And then cytokinesis is where the cell starts to split, and it's got its nucleus and it's got its chromosomes, which are going to dissolve back into the cell. And then it will go into interphase, where it's just kind of hanging out, doing its thing. doing whatever it needs to do until it needs to replicate again. Okay, so that is a very basic overview of it. We are going to go into more detail later on. Okay, so what you're going to do now in the mitosis assignment